How y'all doing out there today? Welcome to another edition of the Father Debate Show, the Father-Son Debate Show. I'm Maurice Williams.
I'm Maurice Williams.
And today's subject is something really sensitive to me. I mean, it always has been, and that is family support. How is your family support? Is it strong or is it weak? And should you actually let it get to you emotional if you have it or if you don't have it? So that's what we're going to be discussing today. So let's get started.
So what's your issue, Pop?
Well, of course, my issue is this. And before we get too deep into the discussion, let me just say this real quick. To support somebody don't always mean that you got to give them, $1,000 and some change, or over $1,000, or whatever the case may be. Moral support is mostly what I'm talking about. Moral support. My thing is this: if you call yourself close to me, we supposed to be close friends, close family. We chop it up every day. We kick it every day. Stay in touch, whatever the case may be. Even if you don't like what I'm doing, even if you don't like it, just because of our closeness, I believe you should support it in some kind of way. In some kind of way.
Well, I mean, okay, people aren't obligated to support you, though. It's not necessarily always a bad thing. They might just not be into what you're into. So that's a way of not supporting either. It's not necessarily because they don't like you. It's just they're not really into the idea of what you're doing.
Okay, so but then that brings up another point I'm gonna make right now, which is I made this point not too long ago on Facebook of three types of people, and TD Jakes gave this sermon: three types of people in your life: confidants, constituents, and comrades. And what you just said, people don't always like what you're doing, and that's what you just said, right?
They're not necessarily into what you're into. Not that they don't like you
which
or what you're about.
Which is a constituent. That's what you call a constituent friend. They're not into what I'm into, so they don't want nothing to do with it.
Okay.
That's a constituent friend. A constituent friend are going to be with you, going to be beside you, going to be down with you as long as they're into what you're into.
Even if they ain't into it.
No, if as long as you're into what they're into, if you're doing something that they like, then they're going to be into it. They're going to follow you. They're going to support you. They're going to, go ahead and do what they do. But then as soon as you go to something they don't like, you lose their support. That's a constituent friend. A confident friend is somebody that's going to be there for you, support you no matter what you do, whether they like it or not.
Okay.
That's a confident friend. A confidant friend. That's what they call a confidant.
I was just going to ask if because somebody's a friend, do they have to like something you're doing, but they'll still be there?
No, if they're a true friend, they're going to support you no matter what you're doing.
I get you.
That's like ride or die. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's ride or die. And then you got your comrades who are going to support you when you're doing something they don't like. If you're doing something that they're against, as long as you're against it, they're going to support you.
So you gave me an example. Well, tell them the example you gave me about why you feel like it bothers you so much when you don't get the support.
Well, because if you call, like I just said, if you call yourself my friend, and we kick it on a regular basis, and I'm doing something that's going to better my life, and you don't support me, how can you be a friend?
Okay.
It's better in my life.
Yeah. So why let it get to you then? If they not what you saying they supposed to be as a friend or family, then it shouldn't get to you, right? You should let it. That's like letting negative energy out of you and pass, like with a life. What is the saying? People are in your season for, like, kind of what you just said.
Yeah, people in your life for a
season,
lifetime,
a reason, or a lifetime.
Right, exactly.
So the people that's there for, a reason or a season usually aren't there that long. Obviously.
Yeah, that's true.
And if they not, if they're meant to not be there for whatever it is you're doing, then that's where I feel like you should just kind of let it slide. Like, it shouldn't be such a big issue to you to where it makes you feel like, down and unconfident in what you're trying to do, because it's what you want to do at your heart. So it always should be something that, you know, you're confident in, regardless of who's gonna be there to support you or not. So that's what I mean. That's what I was saying about the, you know, letting the negative energy and all that deter you from what you're trying to do. You know, that's really my issue with the whole, because I know you let stuff get to you sometimes.
Yeah, I do.
And I don't think you should, you know?
Well, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, you know. And let me just say, you know, I haven't always sometimes, in back in the days growing up, you know, when I was out there doing my thing, you know, you don't, I didn't have a positive mind. I didn't have a positive mind for a long time. And a lot of times I didn't support when I should have supported. You know what I mean? But once you grow older, you get wiser and you start thinking of the important things in life. You know, you start thinking about the important things you should be doing. And like I was telling you earlier on the way over here, I got these kids, man. They come by the house on a regular basis. They come by the house. They selling their candy or selling their little knickknacks or whatever they done made, and they trying to, you know, raise a little money for whatever organization they trying to, you know, get off the ground. Even if I ain't got money, man, I dig through couches and piggy banks and all that to try to support these little kids.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my thing is, when you get older and wiser and you call yourself a friend, that's what upsets me. When you calling yourself my people, and then you don't support me in what I'm trying to do because you feel like I'm trying to get over on you or get over on someone because of what you used to know about me. Everybody changes. You know what I mean?
Well, another thing, I'm gonna use it against you, what we talked about before. And when you used to do, you know, dealing and all that, you know,
when I was out there in the street life,
it was like, you know, you were probably the worst thing. You know what I mean? Going to jail, and you just, you know, having to you had to get support from, you know, family at times.
Yeah.
Coming, you know, the things that happen to you, and you put yourself in situations. But that's one reason why I feel like you shouldn't let it get to you, because when whether you're doing all that or actually doing something positive, it still seems like you're, you know, it's something. It's always something. So, like, if no matter where you at, they're gonna say what they want to say and be, you know,
they're
negative
gonna say what
towards the
they're gonna want to say.
situation.
They're gonna be who they want to be.
I mean, you can't do nothing about that. So when you can't change it, ain't no sense of stressing over it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can agree with you on that, but it's just something it's kind of hard for me to. That's hard for me to let go. It really is. It's hard for me to let go. I mean, especially in this last few years, I done had a perfect example of a few so-called, you know, friends who was supposedly been so down with me, and then they, you know, and I'm trying to do something, and then I don't see them no more. Or they did something for me, and I'm thinking it was from the heart. I'm thinking, oh man, you know, that was cool what they did. And then come to find out they just did it for their benefit, to see if they can benefit from it. But then when they don't benefit from it, you know, the whole story changes. You stop hearing from them. They start doing something completely different. And then I get back and it's doing something that's going to benefit me. And then all of a sudden they ain't nowhere to be found. They don't want to get down with it. Or even, like I said, if you don't like it, cool. But if you said that you were supposed to be down with me, then you should be supporting that I'm trying to do something that's benefiting my life. Or just say this, right? And I just open up a business. Say I open up a business, right? A McDonald's or something, or I ain't gonna use that as an example because that's too wide range of a business. Just say I'll use my ID Life, for example. Put it that way. I'll use my ID Life, for example. I open up a business, right? And I got so-called cool friends that's real down with me. But instead of them coming to my business, buying what's helping them health-wise, because we know ID Life is a health and wellness, you know, business. Instead of them going and coming to my business buying it, they'd rather go to CVS and buy something crazy. You know what I'm saying?
They established. That's why.
So what? They established that they when they look at my business and see I got the same product, that you going to CVS to
Yeah,
buy?
just the-
Why wouldn't you buy it from me just to see? Okay, maybe it won't work for you. Maybe it won't work for you.
Well, that's how the world works, though. That's
Man,
something
forget
that's.
that, man.
I'm just saying,
I'm not
it's
trying
something
to,
that's hard to really undo. This is thousands of years of like just embedding things in our minds that.
Which is not. That's
That,
wrong, though.
no, I know that. I'm
You
just
don't-
saying it makes the people feel safe. So when they're gonna go to a sure thing than something that's new that most likely might help them, but it's just how they're wired. Not everybody.
Which is not always a good thing.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that's how it is.
But why does that make it right? Why are you justifying it that way?
I'm not trying to say it's right. It's not right. But that's the point. I'm just making a point. That's how it is.
Okay, and I'm saying it shouldn't be like that. But you're saying that's how it is, so it's going to continue. I'm trying to let people say it shouldn't be like that. Even if it don't work for you, you should at least come in my establishment and buy that product to show your support. When you're going buying the same stuff from somebody else that you don't even know, or you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? You giving your money to somebody that ain't even benefiting them. You could benefit me if you come buy my product and you call yourself my friend. You could benefit me. So why wouldn't you? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna use my boy Kevin. I said I wasn't gonna say no names, but I'm gonna use my boy Kevin. You know, Kevin Williams. We've been friends for years, for a long time. I done started a few things since I've been friends with Kevin. And everything I've started, that's why I call Kevin a confidant friend. Everything I've started, he was always the first one right there to check it out or to support me in that business. Always the first one outside of family. In the family, it's always been my mom. You know what I'm saying? Which is, mom's always going to be there. But when it comes to friends, Kevin was always the first one. Boom, right there. He done tried out ID Life. When I started the Williams Animal Rescue thing, he didn't even know if it was real or not. And I had a donation waiting on me the next day. Then he was asking questions.
Well, that's cool.
That's a confidant friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But see, when you have people like that, it might not be a big group. You know, it's harder to get to a larger scale, but when you do have the people next to you that support you, the ones that matter, that's my point on not letting it get to you when it comes to, certain other people who might not be supported, who you feel should, because they're family or they might be somebody that say they're your friend or whatever. But seeing that you do have the support that you have, you know what I mean? That's why I don't think you should let it stress you so much.
Well,
it stresses you.
I try not to let. Don't get me wrong.
I was a person who stressed a lot about, not necessarily support, but like what people are saying. You know what I mean? Like what they may be saying about me, and it had to come. It took me a while to realize that no matter what they say, whether it's good or bad, that it's just gonna be said. So why let it get to me? Why let it bother me? Because I gotta still be who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the whole same thing with you with the support thing. Like people's not everybody's gonna support you. That's just
I get that.
Yeah,
I do get
you
that.
just
Don't get
can't-
me
you
wrong. I
can't-
do get
you
that,
can't
but it
bypass
bothers
that.
me. It's not gonna stop me from doing what I got to do though.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's
good too, though.
for
It's not
sure.
gonna stop you. It shouldn't
It's
stop
not
you.
gonna stop me. It's just a learning lesson.
But sometimes it do stop people.
People,
what I
but it
mean?
ain't gonna stop me. It do stop people though when they
It
feel
stops
like
a
that.
lot of people. When
They
they
get
don't feel like they have
discouraged.
support or people are
Which is why
on them all the time.
Yeah.
They get in those modes. They get depressed. They get
Exactly.
And they speak from experience. I can what I mean.
Right.
So
Which is why I believe support is so important. Moral support is so important. I mean, I know there's gonna be times if you.
I have you. I have my mom. I have my grandmother. I have a few friends.
Yeah.
But it's not like.
Right,
but I
it's
don't
not-
care because I know I can be real with y'all. I can talk to y'all, and y'all gonna give me back like what I need to get back. That helps me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I can get that from every perspective, whether it's family or friends. So if I'm getting even if it's like like I got this guy I work with. Me and him hang out at times, but he's like, he gives me, he'll talk like raw to me, you know what I mean? But it don't always make sense all the time. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's still real to me. I can always take something out of it, and you know. So, but that's a small support, a small, you know, friendships that I have.
But like you just said, you got to support team, you got to support circle, which is why I'm saying it's very important for people to have support.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Moral support, because people have killed themselves for not having enough moral support.
That where I agree with you, but we weren't talking about if you have a small support or not. It's about whether you should let certain people that's
true.
You know that aren't supporting you. Should you let it get to you?
Right, you shouldn't.
To that point.
But it does me. I just something. You know what? And I'm just starting to realize that it's just gonna be me, man. That's just how I'm gonna be. It's just gonna always get to me if you call yourself my peoples and you ain't showing me no support.
Until somebody like me or your mother or your boy Kev tells you shouldn't worry about it, and then you'll be good for the next while. 6 months or so. Yeah. Then somebody make you mad.
And then somebody will piss me off again. Yeah. But just check it right. I'm gonna read a couple things. I was checking out this website about some facts about when this support thing. I always think people should support their own. Like black people should support black people. You know, the Caucasians, they should support Caucasian. I mean, we should support everybody. Don't get me wrong, but your circle should come within your own culture first. So when I say black people should support black people, Caucasians support Caucasians, Asians, Jewish, or whatever the case may be. And you know one thing about it, black people have the lowest percentage of a support system from their own people than any other culture, than any other race. And what I did was I pulled up some facts. And I'm just going to read it real quick to you, and then we're going to go ahead and end the show for today.
You got the facts, huh?
I got the facts right here.
I ain't got nothing. All I got is I ain't got nothing.
That's all right, son. So check it out, right? 96.1% of the 1.2 million households in the top 1% by income are white people. Okay? Number 2, America's 100 richest people control more wealth than the entire black population. Did you guys hear that? Americans, 100 richest people in America control more wealth than the entire black population. Okay, check this one out. Number 3, the 5 largest white landowners own more land than all blacks combined. Now that's crazy. That's a crazy one right there. And number 4, the average black family would need 228 years to build the wealth of the average white family. Now these are facts now pulled up. Now these are facts. And these 4 right here are how long the money stays in each culture's community. 6 hours. 6 hours. These are up-to-date reports, too, because I read these things not too long ago, and they were a little bit lower, but these are up-to-date reports. 6 hours in the black community, money stays in the black community once it's generated for 6 hours. It stays in the white community for 17 days. It stays in the Jewish community for 20 days, and in the Asian community for 30 days. And you guys should really, take heed to these facts, and think about the next time you see somebody in your community or in your culture and they trying to start a business, or they trying to become an entrepreneur, or whatever the case may be. Hey man, stop and support that person, man, of your own culture, man, before you support everybody else. Which I'm not saying don't do that either. Support whoever you can support, because everybody needs support. But think about supporting your own community, your own culture, your own race first, so that way we can keep everybody happy in our own community, in our own culture. So
that's crazy.
That is crazy. These facts are crazy. So there you go, another episode of the Father-Son Debate Show.
I think I won this time though.
You might have won, but I don't know. I still feel the way I feel.
I know it's a debate show. Like I said, me and him do this all the time. So, but it's not always gonna be a disagreement. We agree on a lot of things too. Don't get it, don't get it twisted. We do agree on a lot.
Right.
Especially when it comes to black people.
Right.
And black support. So, I mean,
but a lot of times, sometimes it'll be just a discussion. Sometimes just to get a nice, to get a good.
And discussion is a big thing.
Right.
You have to discuss things like.
Right. To get a good issue out there or something for the community to discuss.
And if you don't like it, then he'll get mad, and I'll just be like, whatever. Because I don't have time to get mad anymore. But
yeah, I hear that.
I'm just trying to make it and do.
You don't got time to get mad anymore, but I ain't got time for anyone to stop my progress. So put it that way. I may catch some feelings, but you ain't gonna stop my progress. That's for sure.
Well, I think the people around you won't let you stop anyway.
Right.
I remember when we first moved out here, there was some dark times, and I was telling you a lot.
Yeah.
And what happened? Things changed.
So, yeah. We've come a long way, me and my son, man. We've bonded. We've come a long way. We had some ups and downs back in the days, but we done come a long way, and I love this cat, for sure. I love him to death. But anyways, guys, listen, until next Tuesday, you guys, I hope everyone enjoyed their holidays. Everyone had a safe New Year's, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. God bless everyone. Okay, take care.